Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Patterson Hill Properties. Hopefully, you guys are having a great weekend. Today's subject matter I will be talking about in regards to real estate is another topic that I've come across, and I've actually purchased my first piece of land, a vacant lot. It's called land banking, the land banking industry. And a lot of people don't even realize what the land banking industry has, but it is basically a great, cheap way to get into real estate, especially for new investors, or if you're a current investor and you haven't bought any land because you feel that it's too expensive, then hey, here's your opportunity to buy some land at a very reasonable price. It's somewhat at the price of a car payment, at the price of you buying groceries, or just a price of a meal, depending on what you buy, obviously, right? So rather than just putting all your cash into your savings account, because a lot of people do that, and there's nothing wrong with having the rainy day fund, as I call it, because things will happen no matter whether you're a real estate investor or not. Things will happen in life. But you only the downside is you're only going to get about 1% interest on your account every year. Now, there's other more private entities out there where you can put your money in, but a lot of times those fall in the categories of index funds and things of that nature. So, and that's another video for another day, and definitely more of a video for my Larry's Anything Goes channel than my Patterson Hill Properties channel. But I digress. Or, just placing all your money into the stock market, which has, become more increasingly unpredictable in recent years, whether it's the regular stock market, whether it's cryptocurrency. You always got to have a backup plan. I'm not saying don't do it, because I partake myself in cryptocurrency and the stock market as well. But I don't have all my eggs in one basket, and my advice to you is to not do the same thing either. But, it's your life, it's your investments, do what you got to do. Land banking has become a great alternative for acquiring land. When I found out about this, I was like, not only did I talk about it, but I'm starting to do it, and I'm going to continue to do it more. Because remember, they may be making more homes, but they are definitely not making any more land that I know of. And putting your money into real estate and land or business is considered a tangible fixed asset. We can all agree on that one, hopefully. Now, what is land banking? It's basically vacant land that gets ignored by most new investors, that counties, cities, and states are looking to sell at a very decent price because they've had it and they're losing value on it. Because let's just keep it real, no matter what state you live in, no matter what city you're living in, the state and local governments are going to find a way to get their money. It might not be in the same way, but they're going to have to get it, because if they don't get it, then they can't exist. We can all agree on that, right? So unlike most residential and commercial buildings, land costs are virtually nothing to own. No utilities, no payments, no, depending on the situation. But most times when people acquire land, it's cash. If it's sold for $1,000 or more, then they're like, hey, we want you cash money. There's no mortgage on this land. No tenant problems. A lot of people don't want to be landlords, and I can understand that. No termite infestations, no leaky faucets, no broken toilets. And if you buy land the way I do, you have no mortgage payments, period. Like I said, I just acquired a lot the other day, and it was about $100, and it's down in Tennessee. These are things to look into. Okay. And I've seen it, it's very easy to buy a piece of vacant land today. Because let's put it this way. You buy a piece of vacant land, you let a few years go by, and then you come back to it, and nothing will change. And a lot of times, if you buy in the right states, like I'm doing, in towns and etc., then the taxes you pay on it can be little, to as $60 a year, or maybe $100 a year. Big freaking whoop. That's not even a car payment. And I remember someone was like, "Well, what is the point of doing that?" And I'll tell you what the point is. I've seen people own land, vacant lots, and other people have made significant offers because someone wants to have an event, build a home, building, parking space, place a highway through it, etc., and so on. And then you obviously work out the deals and the details through that person. If you need an attorney or financial advisor, obviously you go through those specific routes if you don't have all the knowledge or the experience at hand. Because remember this, because I don't think that people talk about owning land enough. They talk about flipping houses, wholesaling's big, all that good stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. Rental properties, all that good stuff is great, but the economics of land is broken down to the resource with a supply that is always going down. After all, like I said earlier, they aren't making any more of it. Let's be realistic about it. And there's a huge demand that is constantly on the rise. Given the value proposition that comes with owning land, more investors are wondering why more investors aren't even involved in land banking, and it's like, and I think a lot just don't know. Let's just keep it realistic on that one. I think a lot don't know about it. It's not talked about enough. Like I said, right now, flipping houses, wholesaling, and all that good stuff is way more popular than owning land. And I run into investors who own between, especially when I go to these investor conventions, who own between 20 to 30 vacant lots throughout the United States of America. And they bought most of these lots via their computers and for the prices of $50 to $5,000. And you're probably wondering why most investors do not partake in land banking. And it's because most people want instant gratification, which is basically sucking most people dry nowadays. And unfortunately, instant gratification has placed people in bad debt to where it cannot, basically people cannot escape their jobs. They can't, because they want to live in a big house. They want to drive a overpriced fancy car. For investors, it makes sense. You want an immediate return on your investment. When it comes to any kind of investment, patience is key to long-term investing. I consider myself a long-term investor when it comes to everything. So, because I want the long game to make my financial portfolio strong, and I would hope that you guys will want to do the same thing as well. And let's think about, retirement. Most 401ks, individual retirement accounts, and definitely Social Security checks are not going to be enough to distribute money for one to retire comfortably anymore. It's just not going to happen. We live in a time where we all need something to fall back on in case the stock market crashes. Cost of living constantly going up because of that beautiful thing called inflation. According to most publications out there, and they state this, that people will need about $1 million to retire comfortably. And that's just an estimate. Or like to call it a guesstimate. That's not, guaranteed that that's going to, but the number might be higher, 30 to 50 years from now. Now, a lot of people are moving to cheaper states, which is cool when they retire, or foreign countries so that their money can go further. But even in those situations, unless you do not have a mortgage and you don't have to pay rent, then you could still be in a vulnerable place. I'm just saying. And of course, as investors, people always want to ensure that they're getting their ROI, a return on their investment. And I understand that too. I'm the same way. Make sure that the ROI is going to be there and it's going to be significant. Obviously, that's when you have to do your homework, run the numbers, and see what is the best investment is for your portfolio. Because every situation, to my experience, investors out there, especially real estate investors out there, every situation is different. The numbers are going to be different, and you just got to see it. Is it worth it? So now, how can you get started? That is the magic question. Well, you can look at your local or within the hour radius of where you live at, or like I do, just around states anywhere, because we got the internet nowadays, so it's that much more easier to be mobile. And not really, and like, if you don't mind owning land in other states, then like me, then you're good to go. But a lot of people want it to be in their backyard, and I get it. But if you live in an expensive area, a lot of times it's harder to do these things. So it's like, when it comes to land, it's land. It's not like it's a house. The responsibility is way less compared to owning a house. So that's why it's another thing, great way to look into investing. And you check out the rules and regulations. Obviously every state is different, and they'll even tell you how you can get started, because it makes it easier for the states, when they get rid of this land, because then they're not losing money on the land, because then once you buy it, then like I said earlier, they're going to be like, okay, the tax man cometh, and they're going to want to collect their taxes from you every year, every month, however you do it, however the state wants to do it. Every state is different. And there's a recent survey of the states that are actually making it easier to purchase vacant lots and acres of land. As of August of 2019, the following states have passed comprehensive laws within the past couple of years for land banking legislation. And that's Michigan, that's Ohio, New York, Georgia, Tennessee. Like I said, I'm investing in Tennessee, Missouri, Pennsylvania. I'm investing in Pennsylvania, Nebraska, Alabama, West Virginia, and Delaware. And there's probably other states that are in the process of doing this right now, because it makes it easier for them to get rid of the land, rid of the lots, and that way it makes it easier for them to collect the taxes on it. So if I was you, if you're a new investor or current investor, something you might want to look into, see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, I totally get it. And if it does, hey, it's all good, man. That's what it's all about, building your financial portfolio. We live in a time frame where you got to have multiple streams of income. They say the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. So you want to at least have 3 to 4 streams of income. Or if you're trying to shoot for the 7 or more, then go for it. But it's just something to look into. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Have a great day. It's a new week beginning. So let's kick some butt. Let's make some money. Let's get some deals and let's keep it real. Take care.